You guys were coming off of a game where the bench, you played well, you had a lot of rebounds. Y'all didn't provide a lot of bench scoring. What was the difference in tonight, especially with you and Spencer?
Getting out and running. Getting out, throwing the ball ahead, and just getting to what we do. We play our best whenever we're in pace. We're putting pressure on the rim, causing the defense to rotate. That's when we're playing our best basketball. I feel like we did a great job moving the ball around, finding each other, and just finding the open shot. At times we were a little too unselfish, but, that's a great thing to have. There's some times where we're turning the ball over because we're passing too much. That's a great team to have.
How did you guys bounce back on the boards after they had 7 offensive rebounds in the first quarter?
Being diligent, no matter if it's me getting a board, no matter if it's PJ getting a board, no matter if it's Luka getting a board, all of us got to box out. One person shoots, the other 4 are crashing. So it's on us individually and as a team just to be able to do our part and make sure we boxing out to come in and rebound.
How tough is this back-to-back against the team that you guys beat to go to the NBA Finals last season?
Really tough. We got to be able to move on to the next day, move on to the next game mentality. There's going to be a lot of things that we can't control, and we know that. But only thing that we're worried about is what we can control.
We just asked Jason about teams taking away the lobs from you guys and kind of how that changes you and Gafford's game. You seem to be adapting well to it. Kind of how has that experience been, not getting as many lobs and having to finish around the rim?
Really just comes down to us playing a different game. There's definitely times where we look in and we see that there's 3-4 people pulled in, making sure we don't get a lob, but that means we're going to be putting the defensive in rotation, swinging a corner, swinging a wing, and just making the ball move. And, if we don't get it on the first pick and roll action, swing, second side drive, we can get a lob then, or we can get a little duck in and find other ways to play. I feel like everyone's watched us play throughout the whole postseason, so that's why everyone's focused on the lob, because we were Lob City last year. So that's one thing that gets us going. So teams are going to focus in on that. And since they're focusing on that, we're going to pick them apart on their weaknesses on the other end.
How comfortable have you felt kind of with those jump hooks and kind of finishing and kind of that mid-range, just close shots?
Man, I've been working on that a lot this summer, and just being more consistent. I missed a couple, right hand and left hand. So it's just getting back into the gym, making sure I'm focusing on my touch and, just keeping it going. No matter how many shots I miss, I got to be confident taking the next one.
Speaking of working on stuff, I noticed in your pregame warm-ups, you always do a couple of overhead dunks. Well, tonight you had an overhead dunk.
Yeah.
How different does it feel like doing it in action like that in the crowd?
It's just electric. You focus on that. You're focusing on practicing your footwork, your steps, and your reach, and just getting the ball in that position. It just makes it go automatic whenever you practice it. To having my teammates stand up, having the fans stand up, it just gets the team going and energy plays.
How have you had to adjust coming off the bench? Obviously, Gafford started a lot at the end of last year, and now to start the season. How's it changed your game or approach or anything?
Just knowing that whenever he's out there, he's bringing as much energy as he can. And whenever it's my turn to step on the floor, I do the same thing. It's just that 1-2 tandem punch that we're just going to keep throwing. We're going to keep putting the pressure on the rim. Everyone's going to be looking at us at the rim for dunks and lobs, but we're going to be throwing elbows, pushing people out the way to get rebounds and get extra possessions for our teammates.
You seen an injury like Hendricks before on a court?
No, I got a flashback to Gordon Hayward. Prayers to him. You never want that to happen to anybody, no matter if it's your worst enemy. So prayers to him and his family for that. Appreciate y'all.